What's up, you guys? Thanks for coming to hang out today. If you're new here, welcome. I am super stoked to be sharing with you guys my 2025 reading journal setup. Okay, so real quick before we get into this, if you are new here, this reading journal is already a little bit set up and established for me. I set this up back in October of 2024 because that was when I turned 39. So in 2025, I will be turning 40, and I had some reading goals for myself for the year between turning 39 and 40. However, this was set up a little bit, not as much as I wanted to, but I certainly didn't want to start over and have this journal go to waste. So I finished out the year of 2024, and then I went ahead and did a whole new setup for my reading journal for 2025. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I do already have some videos of reading journal setups and planning up on my channel if you want to check those out, but we're going to jump into my 2025 setup. Little bit of a disclaimer, my tastes are weird. My tastes are kind of strange and quirky. You're not going to see anything like freaky and scary here, but if you were looking for the sweet, the cute, the flowery, and romantic in a reading journal spread, you're not going to find that here with me. Sorry. So when I originally set up this reading journal, my inspiration and idea was an Encyclopedia Britannica for a parallel world. I was watching a lot of Fringe at the time, so you can understand where my mind was at. This is my cover page for this reading journal. This little library card, like printout right over here, is where I am going to be listing all of the 5-star books that I read between the year of turning 39 and 40. Sadly, so far, there isn't one to add to the list. Fingers crossed, hopefully soon. And then I'm also tracking every book that I read as though it were a specimen. Now, I'm a little bit behind, as you can see. The holiday season was kind of crazy. I still have to write in the books that I read in November, the date that I finished them, and their page count, as well as the ones for December. I do have to catch up a little bit on that, but this is something I am going to continue with in 2025, collecting my books like their specimens, and then being able to add up the page numbers that I read for the entire year at the end of the year, or rather in October, and then I might do something else for October to December for my reading. We'll see. For my setup for 2025, I did want to continue on with this sort of same theme. Like I said, I was watching a lot of Fringe when I came up with this idea, and now for the past couple of months, I've been watching a lot of Lost. So my head is still in the same place. So, ta-da! I decided to go with the same theme, but like a magazine or newspaper from a parallel world for 2025. And you guys, I freaking love it. So this is my cover page setup, and also the divider from my 2024 reading to my 2025 reading. And I love it. I love it. It's busy, it's weird, but I love it so much. So this page over here, I created for myself in Canva to sort of look like maybe a magazine clipping. These are some strange photos. I love them. This is absolutely my taste and my style. A couple of them I did find on Pinterest, but most of them I just found within Canva's photo albums. And this page over here, the more you look at it, the weirder it gets. You guys, my husband gave to me some magazines that he found at a garage sale a couple of years ago. They are like car guy magazines and science magazines from the 1940s and the 1950s. He hung on to the great condition ones, but some of them were falling apart, so he gifted them to me, and I love them. They have some really weird advertisements in them, and I tore them apart and put some in here. So lots of bizarre things happening here. I've also got some stickers, some washi tape, some stamps, and I love it so much. So those are my cover pages. The next pages that I created is my 25 books to read in 2025. Now, these are not in any particular order whatsoever. It's just 25 books that I want to read in 2025. There are a couple of firsts in series in here. The only thing I didn't do for this list was add second, third, or fourth books of series that I'm already into. Even though I certainly do want to read those books in 2025, I didn't want to put those on this list. So just a random collection of books that I would like to read in 2025. There are some firsts in series, but not any seconds and thirds. Like I said, there's also some nonfiction, some classics, just a random collection. And I put a little circle stamp underneath that I will color in when I finish each one of them. I love this page too. I love the whole setup. I'm really happy with it. It's super imperfect and maybe a little bit messy, but I love it. The next page that I have is my reading challenge page. This photo, you guys, this was in one of those magazines. It's two little girls, and I have no idea what they're doing. Maybe it's a homemade telescope. I don't know. I don't think so. I just love it. It's weird, but I have no idea what's happening right now. So this is my reading challenges setup. I'm doing plots and plans. That is my reading and planner challenge that I created for myself and for my community. If you want to join us over in the Facebook group, Overly Hangouts, I always have that linked down in the description below for you guys. And this is a challenge to combine my reading and author community with my planner community, get them together, and you can either read a book with this prompt or create a planner spread with one of these prompts. We're keeping it simple and everyone is invited. There's fun printables and activities and a giveaway to go along with this. So if you want to join us, come hang out with us over in the Facebook group. You will get a proper bingo card to go along with this. Some free printables are already posted over there. And then at the end of 2025, I will be doing a huge giveaway for everyone who participated. You're welcome to play along if you want to participate in these prompts, but in order to be entered into the giveaway, you do have to be a part of that Facebook group. The other one is Book in Pixels or Books in Pixels. This is going to get maybe a little bit redundant when we get to my trackers section, but I do have a goal to read 100 books, and I'm just going to color in a gray box every time I read a book. I did not want to get overwhelmed with the challenges and participating in a bunch of different things this year, so these two are going to be it for me. I do love this spread though. It's simple and it's weird and I'm happy with it. The next page, my trackers. Again, keeping it simple, but also weird. And I love this. I'm so happy with how this turned out as well. It might be a little bit redundant to have the Books in Pixels tracker as well as this breakdown, but I'm okay with that. I can see at a glance the number of books that I read. And then on this page, we're breaking it down even further. So I have this huge tracker spot up here for my different formats. So physical copy, ebook, and audiobook. Then I have some boxes for the different genres. So fantasy books, sci-fi books. I put spooky books because while I do love to read horror novels, I'm also going to be reading a bunch of my favorite Goosebumps in the year between turning 39 and 40. So I just put spooky instead of horror because I don't think Goosebumps entirely classify as horror novels. Then we have classic books. Other books, around the holidays, I do tend to read like cozy mystery or romance novels, but not a huge amount of them to give them their own category. And then we have a spot for nonfiction books. The next pages are fairly blank because I'm not sure if I want to do series tracker and my stats being like my busiest reading month and things like that. Or if I want to do buddy reads or something else, recommendations, wish lists. I'm not entirely sure yet what I want to do for this spread. I'll definitely decide soon and get this filled in, but I still have to figure that one out. And then last page, my favorites. So this is where I am going to put the 12 covers of my favorite book from each month of the year and maybe my favorite book of the year at the bottom. I decided I'm going to start doing my reading journal a little bit differently. I kind of mentioned this to you guys last year when I initially set it up, but I want to focus on my favorite books. I want to focus on the books that I really enjoyed reading. And then as an author, somebody who spends their life trying to tell stories and write books, I don't have any interest in being critical of somebody else's book because it's difficult at times to separate the story from the effort. So if you sat down and finished a novel and published it, your heart is in that. Your blood, sweat, and tears are between those pages, and I have no interest in being critical in that, whether or not the story ended up being for me. So I think for 2025, what I'm going to do for my monthly reading journal setups is just make a decorative page for the month with a theme on one side, and then just a collage of the books that I read and which one happened to be my favorite that month without doing a star rating or writing a review or anything like that. I'm just gonna keep that to myself, and I'm totally fine and excited to focus on my favorites instead. I'm not a booktuber, and people are not coming to me looking for reviews or necessarily ideas of what to read. Maybe you'll check in and see what book that I liked, or look at my reading journal setup, and I'm excited to share that side of this with you guys in 2025. But that's my whole setup, you guys. I'm really excited about this. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your theme for your reading journal was if you set one up. Again, you are more than welcome and warmly invited to join us over in that Facebook group for our reading challenge this year. It's super low-key, no stress. You participate once a month for your entry into the giveaway at the end of the year, and you get the free printables, and we just hang out and chat about books. During spooky season, so in the month of October, I do a read along. It's like, again, a super low-key, chill book club. If you want to be a part of that as well, it's always linked down in the description. Definitely come hang out with us over there. And that's it. That's it for this one, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I will see you in my next one. Tell your dog I said hi. Bye, guys.